Good evening from Gangneung, the Republic of Korea. This is the host city for the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018, the Olympic city. The Olympics were held here 9 months ago. We're here for the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. We're through the round robin phase and into the playoff phase. Thursday night in Gangneung, beautiful city on the coast, east coast of Korea, and this is our venue, the Gangneung Curling Center. For tonight's feature game, the women's semifinal, it is Korea taking on China. Moving now inside the venue here at the Gangneung Curling Center, I'm Hans Fraunlob. I'm joined by Olympic curling champion Rona Howie. And good evening to you, Rona.
Good evening, Hans.
Well, we're down to the key matches of this competition. The round robin phase is over, and tonight we have Korea taking on China. What are you expecting to see in this one?
I think this is going to be a fantastic match. Both these teams have played so well this week, and there's so much at stake in this semi-final game for both of them. I think we're in for a real treat tonight.
Teams taking their place, being greeted by the spectators before this crucial semi-final game. So let's meet the teams. At lead for Team Korea is Kim Soo-jin. Playing at second for Team Korea is Yang Tae. Playing at third is Kim Hye-rin. And skipping Team Korea, Kim Min-ji. Home team facing their opponents tonight from China. At lead, Jang Shin-di. At second, Jong Shi-ki. Lee Se-ja is the skip. She'll be throwing third stones and throwing fourth stones. Jang Yi-lun. So the women's semifinal just about ready for action here at the Gangneung Curling Center. Here's how they got here. 7 member associations competed in the round robin phase. We can see that Japan qualified first. They will face Hong Kong in the other women's semifinal, China and Korea. China ranked second, Korea ranked third. Those are the top 4. Kazakhstan, Australia, and Qatar rounded out the women's competition. And so here's how the final stages play out. Semifinal 1 versus 4, Japan versus Hong Kong, and tonight's semifinal 2 versus 3, China ranked 2 versus number 3 ranked Korea. The winners advance to the gold medal game. The losers of this semifinal match will play for the bronze medal at the Gangneung Curling Center. So the introductions are over, teams exchanging handshakes and well wishes as is customary before curling matches. And we are just about ready to go here in Gangneung. Fantastic venue. And just unbelievable 9 months ago that the Olympic Games were held here, and we're back in Gangneung for some real high quality curling. Korea will play the red stones, China playing the yellow stones. Kim Soo-jin gets us started. China gets last rock advantage in this game by virtue of higher ranking. The number 2 ranked team, they get the choice of last rock advantage or the stones they wanted to play, Rona.
Yeah, and you'll see most teams will always take the hammer.
Totally.
And that ranking was in the very first game of this championship, where China edged out Korea. So that head-to-head mattered now when it comes to semi-finals.
Certainly did. Every game matters in the round robin phase. Jang Shin-di. Conservative play, playing it off to the wing into the back 12-foot circle. Very young Korean team. Kim Soo-jin, just 19 years of age. Is it going to stay on the rings? Not quite.
They could have chosen to draw around their centre guard there, but both teams just maybe being slightly cagey at this first end.
Well, the ball game changes at semi-final time as Jang Shin-di throws a stone. The teams know, win this one, you're in the gold medal game. And just as importantly for them, win this one, you lock up a place for your member association at the World Women's Curling Championship. So tons and tons and tons on the line here tonight. Yang Tae, another youngster, just 18 years of age. Just touches the stone in the back ring, but no jam. Nice shot. And Rona, you've played in many international competitions. The dynamics of the building really change when you're out there in the final stages and you're the only game out there.
Yeah, it's a very different feeling when you're used to people and noise and stones moving and everything happening round about. You're focusing on your game. Now all of a sudden, everybody's focusing on you. You're the only sheet. And it's so important just to keep that communication going.
Nice shot there by China's Dong Soo-chi. Yang Tae.
They are a young team, but they've had some international experience playing in the World Juniors the last couple of years. So they're no stranger to arena-style ice.
Nice shot there. Hit inside roll. Here are the rules of play. 5 rock free guard zone rule in effect. 8 ends are minimum, that the game is scheduled for 10 ends. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time. Each team has 1 60-second timeout where they can call their coach onto the playing surface if they choose. Dong Soo-chi.
Just trying to raise the top one and catch the one in the rings.
Just goes past the stone in the rings.
Trying to spin it in.
Maybe spun back. Well, that's pretty close. Close enough for Kim Min-ji to say, let's make a play at it. Kim Hye-rin.
Wants to hang about in the rings. Oh, it's just going to roll out.
Out of play. Just needed a bit more contact on that stone to stick around, but caught it thin, spills out of the rings. Concentration from Liu Sejia. Throwing third stones. She's skipping the game. She's throwing third stones. Nice shot. Hits and rolls it to the wing. Conservative first end. Not surprising that both teams just looking to ease themselves into the game a bit. Kim Hye-rin. Nose hit. Nice shot there by China's Liu Sejia. Biting that 12-foot circle, the teal-blue 12-foot circle. Kim Min-ji. Nice little inside roll there by Kim. No hesitation from China. Jiang Yilun, fourth stone thrower for Team China. This one's got a bit of curling to do. Is it going to push it out of the rings? Just enough. Caught that one very thin. Little smile there from Yilun. A little touch and go for a minute there.
As we've said, there's so much at stake in this game for these two teams. Just settling their nerves, quite happy to play out the first end. And then I'm sure we'll see a lot more stones in play in the next end.
No doubt, both teams played very aggressively through the round robin phase, lots of rocks in play. So no doubt you're right, Rona, just settling in. Final stone, Jiang Yilun looking to blank the end, wants to hit and roll out. Big sweep. Well, they get it done, spills off the ring, so it is a blank end here in the first. China successful with their blank attempt after one end of play. In this women's semifinal, we have no score. Blank end in the first end, China holding on to last rock here into the second, 10-end game. Women's semi-final, we're live from the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic venue. Sitting beside me, an Olympic champion, Rona Howie. Cautious start, Rona.
Yeah, it certainly was. But straight away, we've seen the centre guard going up. Now China are putting up the corner guard. So this is second end, time to get to business. Both teams are happy now. They know what draw weight is. They know how the ice is playing. Sometimes as well, when there's only one game out there, the ice conditions might change slightly. It could straighten up. So it's always just a good test just to edge you in.
2 guards up, game on.
Although both teams have had a pre-game practice, so they have had a chance to see how the ice is playing tonight.
Trying to drag this into the rings behind that center guard. Oh, very nice sweep. 2/3 hidden behind that center.
It's not too dangerous there for China. It's not into the 4 foot, so they're quite happy to ignore that and just come round the corner guard.
Jiangxin Di. Green light on the rock, indicating a legal throw. Good looking shot here. I think they would have liked that into shot rock position, but it's perfectly behind the corner guard. Very nice shot.
Yeah, you can see it's completely buried.
And that gives you an idea how much curl we have in the ice here this week in Gangneung. Yang Tae. Back of the button. After a conservative first end, it's all guns blazing here in the second. 5 rocks have been delivered. That means the free guard zone part of the end is over. Liu Seijia says, I don't like the looks of these center guards. Asking Dong Suchi to play a clearing shot. Moves 2, nice shot, and spills off the center line, protecting their own shot even further. Good stone.
Yeah, we've seen this week that the double corner guard on the one side's very useful. Because of the great swing on the ice, it's sometimes very hard to bury completely around the corner because you poke out the other side. So with that double corner guard there, it's useful when you've got last stone and you're trying to generate a bigger end.
Yang Tae. Oh, they squeak it by that corner guard. Wow.
Wow, what a shot.
Terrific shot. So close to that corner guard. Dong Suchi being asked to join the party around those corner guards.
Yeah, this is a really important shot here. China are lying 2 against.
Well by the guard. It's going to slide past the tee. How deep will it go? Into the back 12 foot, just so. Korea still lies 2. Rona, this is looking much less likely for a blank. Let's have another look how much this curls at the end.
Passes the guard by a good bit, but does completely bury.
Just a bit too deep.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be a blank end here.
No.
But China, okay, they need to be slightly careful. They're 2 against, but the centre's open. They've got last stone. As long as they have got a way in, the skip's always thinking how they're going to get in with their last stone. So at least it is open for them. Although Korea are now going to put up the centre guard.
Kim and Yang being worked very hard early in the going here. 2 big sweeps back to back, but that's worth it. Right on the center line, very well played.
Yep. The only thing is that the Korean stone is back tee. So there is room to come in and freeze on top of that to get shot rock. But even so, China can't risk that right now. That would be a last stone saviour of the end, I think, shot. They need to keep it open at them. It looks as though they're going to try and come through that gap.
Interesting.
Just at a tap back weight. There is such a big curl at the end. Just tap back weight, get through the gap. That will tap the red back out the 4 foot. Because if they ever got the chance, there's a raise on that side, yellow on the left, straight back onto yellow onto the red. If they ever got the chance to play that. So maybe they want to move this one out the house now. But this is curling.
Going to be tight to that center guard. And they wreck. Actually push that guard into the rings. 5th shot position for that stone.
That was just a bit light of weight, I think.
There's Korean coach Lee Sung-jun. Probably liking what he's seeing right about now. Korea lies too. China does have last rock.
Korea now thinking that there's 3 yellows available on that right-hand side that China could use to raise in. So looking now, should we bring another one in rather than guard?
Well, we saw how much that come around of Yang Tae's curled. They could wrap around those stones and take away those raises at the same time. Precision play as you would expect in the women's semi-final. It's not going to wrap around, so they do want to leave it higher in the rings. Full 12.
Yeah, it's a good result there. However, China could take that one and the one on the right-hand side.
Carolyn McCrory, coach for Team China.
She herself, an Olympic silver medalist from Vancouver.
Lots of women's Olympic medalists in the house tonight, Rona. It's awesome. We'll see more Olympic medalists in the other women's semi-final tomorrow. Satsuki Fujisawa's Japanese team, bronze medalists.
And on the ice just now, the Chinese lead was the alternate for the Chinese team that played here back in February in the Olympics.
That's right.
They weren't medalists, unfortunately, but they did finish 5th.
It's Wang Rei. Liu Sejia. Trying to rattle them around a bit.
This is curling.
Oh, just grazes the top stone. Gets a break. Still 2 Korean stones lying 1 and 2. Just feathering that guard going by.
Yeah, caught that on the wrong side. She was looking to catch this on the left-hand side of the stone to try and... Oh, was very lucky with that result.
Very lucky. Could have jammed and left Korea lying 3. One more look. Watch as it just changes direction right there. Takes it off course, drives the Korean stone, picks their own stone off the back of the 8-foot. It's a great opportunity here for Korea. China's got last rock, but Korea's got a good chance for a force and a possible steal. Liu Se-jia, Jang Yi-lun, look on. Kim Min-ji. Switching sides now, trying to promote a little extra curl if they can with the high side sweep. Hyunrae Kim banging her brush on the ice. Come on, girls.
I want it here.
Yes. Good sweep. Covers the shot rock. Job well done.
Yeah. Their only saving grace for China right now is that one is back tee.
That is the bailout shot for Jang Yi-lun. She's going to try it now. Draw around the pile into the shot rock at the back of the button.
You can see the rock clock there, just timing from hog to hog.
It's been running about 14.5 seconds hog to get to tee line. This one's a little quick.
Gonna hope it digs in.
It curls big and late. Does make its move, gets a piece, pretty good shot.
Really good effort. Probably does lie short. I think it's pretty close.
There's Jang Yi-lun.
However, with it just rubbing off there, it now gives Korea the chance to come in and weld one right in on top and lie 2.
The red rock belongs to Korea. Boy, that's close.
But if Korea could catch the inside of that yellow and just flop over,
Yeah.
or just half check enough to nudge the yellow back and definitely lie 2, China really aren't going to have a shot.
Really looking to exactly duplicate the shot just thrown by Jang Yi-lun. Just T-line back button weight. Just get to the inside of the Chinese rock.
She was really unlucky. Her weight was not far away at all, and just the line, it didn't curl as much at the end as they thought. But she has shown the way in now to Korea.
Tighter line here for Korea. They're working it really hard to get by the top center guard.
And she's not.
Oh, just feathers it. So close to getting by,
So
but
close to perfection.
just feathering that center guard. Now the question for China, are we lying 1 or not? That will have a lot to do with what their shot choice is going to be with their hammer shot.
I would say it's red. I don't know. I don't know. From our camera angle.
That is mighty
tricky.
close. Watch how close this comes to the guard. It actually makes contact and loses its momentum. So close to getting it by.
If that had passed, wow, they were in a great position.
They were. They might not have even had contact on the Chinese stone, but they would have certainly gotten to button.
Yep. So now China have got a lifeline.
Yeah, definitely a shot for 1. The question is it a shot for 2? Does she have to move the red rock to get 2?
She can just play the same weight as she's just played, really, and use the sweepers. But it's the line here that's key. The guard's moved now, remember? So she can be an even tighter line.
Sweeper's backing right off.
This is a really wide line.
It's got lots of weight. It's going to bump her own stone. And it is going to be a steal of 1 for Korea. Pushes her own stone out of position, and it is a steal of 1.
What a missed opportunity.
It was just fractionally heavy with the weight, bumped her own stone. Korea winds up with the steal after 2 ends of play. Korea 1, China no score.
내가 라인 너무 짧게 잡은 것 같아, 내 라인을. 아까처럼 했으면 괜찮은데. 이 릴리즈가 이게 맞을 거야. 좀 더 잡아줘. 잘하고 있어. 괜찮아. 테이크 지금 좋아. 혜린이는 아우터만 테이크 좀 덜 해주고 인터는 달린다. 아 근데 타이트해서 올리긴 해야 되는데. 진짜 가드 한번.
Sound self-indulgent, Richard. I'm just wondering how I could dial myself up through my own headphones here. Any idea?
기다릴게. 죽고 있어.
괜찮아 보여. 라인 클리네.
죽어야 돼.
라인 클리네. 많이 죽어. 클리네. 웨이트 좋아. 괜찮아 보여. 클리네. 웨이트 좋아. 클리네. 그냥 라인 좀 라인 좋아. 라인 좀만
웨이트
더.
더
살짝 더. 괜찮아. 라인 괜찮아.
We're back live at the Gangneung Curling Center. The 2018 Pacific Asia Curling Championships, the women's semifinal. It's the 2 versus 3 semifinal between Korea and China. And Korea stealing a point there on end number 2.
Yeah, Korea really controlled that, most of that end. We're always looking good for a steal, but after the skips first stone, it certainly gave China that opportunity twice there, really, and they didn't snatch it.
We did think that Jiang Yilun did have a potential shot for 2 on her last. Just a bit heavy, rearranged the stones around the button, and all of a sudden, bango. Korea steals a point.
약간 헤비.
This one's got a lot of momentum. It's going to go deep. See how much it curls late. It's going to actually pop out the other side of the guard. Almost wide open now. Liu Xie says, that's not going to really be a factor. Let's use the corner guard. Jiang Xindi.
Trying to bring it back, bury it as deep as they can. Pretty good effort.
Yep. Good weight, half a round. And there's Xindi. A corner of that rock available for Korea to make a play. Yang Tae. A little panic in the sweeping call here.
Yeah, they're trying to hold it past his guard, but it's curling.
Clips the corner guard. And because that stone is in the free guard zone area, that one comes back. 5 rock free guard zone, remember?
Yeah, they need to be happy with where it gets put back to.
Yep, the non-offending team puts it back in place.
So now with that error from Korea, can China capitalise?
Dong Suchi.
快这个赛大了，4-5，行，这个赛大，5，磕一下，7，那就得顶线擦，磕一下，磕甩，下来了，顶线擦，全力顶线，行，过去吧，2，顶线还不够，现在，再来，
Trying to go around their own stone, just gonna bump it.
再来，OK，
Not bad. Sits in the open.
I know the number of times you see trying to bring that second counter in and you come round the corner and you leave a double on your stones.
Right. This one sliding back far enough that I don't think the inside double's a big risk, but definitely a chance to be removed from play, no doubt. Yeah, just missed the line read there a little bit to get cover behind the center. Nice throw there from Yang Tae. Kim Min-ji. Dong Suchi. Once again flirting with the guards, safely by. Even a little cheeky inside roll, nice shot.
Just trying to cover the inside of that yellow so it didn't leave a hidden roll. But China do lie too.
They do have the hammer here in the third. And Rona, despite their junior experience, this is still such a young Korean team. Being put in a situation here where a place at the Women's World Championships is at stake for their country, and on the heels of such a great Olympic performance from another Korean team. It puts a lot of pressure on some young shoulders, doesn't it?
It certainly does. But sometimes when you're younger, you don't feel that pressure.
Right.
So it might be a good thing.
To be young and fearless.
Yes. Sweeping this to get it past that top one.
Well, just going to, again, just rub it.
They've just had a couple tonight. They're catching the wrong side of stones.
Yeah, earlier in the day, they seem to be having trouble not getting near enough to guards, and tonight having a little bit of trouble getting by guards. It is such a game of fine tolerances here and small adjustments.
Absolutely.
Terrific situation here if you're a fan of Team China. This is starting to feel like a 2 or a 3 for them. Korea still with a center guard though, so chances to bail out. Liu Sejia. Looking to get a bit of separation between their stones.
Just unfortunately left a double on those yellows. Korea could actually take a double, get a roll over behind that red and lie short.
Kim Hye-rin lining it up. The stone still moving out away from the center line. Just going to get one.
A bit of an error there. That was a great opportunity just to take the pressure off when China have got last stone here and building up a few.
There's something I've noticed with the delivery of Kim Hye-rin and Kim Min-ji when they step the weight up with such a positive release and up weight, and this ice is already a little bit unforgiving outside in when you're throwing big weight. It takes a long time for that stone to bite and start to make a curl when you're throwing big positive weight. Great chance for China here.
Yeah, they need to capitalize.
This one going to come up just short.
That's not an ideal position when they've got last stone.
So much like the previous end when Korea had real control of the end and Jang Yi-lun throw one into the button area to turn the end around a bit. It's kind of the opposite situation here. Korea now with a chance to get themselves out of trouble if they can sink one around those center guards and set one on the button. That would really give them the advantage. There's the direction of travel. Trying to come through that hole on the left-hand side of the center line into the button area. Good look at the hack, the starting blocks.
Very steady delivery.
Sweepers say it's got plenty of weight. Too much weight. It's going to be deep in the forefoot. Second shot. That does reduce the risk of a 3, but a deuce is still very much on for China here.
Yeah, key shot here, just to get round. Biting the top of the button. Doesn't want to be back tee and allow Korea to come in and freeze.
Korea will have a shot. See that red stone in the 12-foot on the right of our picture? That could be angle tapped. But if China can throw this one on the button, big advantage for them.
Yeah, so ideally just top of the 1 foot.
Keep an eye on the interval time on this draw between the hog lines. Remember earlier we clocked a 14.1. It's in that same neighborhood, so the weight's close.
It needs to dig in though. Oh, just giving a pocket to Korea.
China lies too, but as Rona points out, both of those stones crucially are behind the center or tee line, so there is a pocket for Korea to draw to if they chose. They're also looking at that angle tap, but I would say the draw is a much easier shot.
Yeah, if Korea weld one right in on top of that yellow, it could be another steal here for them. China have just given that pocket. They would have been better even being short and guarding their 1 right now and then having a shot for 2 later for their next stone.
Yes.
As it is, they've now come in and Korea can kill their end. And that's just, it's that experience, isn't it? It's knowing the stone placement, what side can you err on?
Let's see if Kim Min-ji can capitalize on that tiny mistake by China.
Plenty room. It's all in the weight.
One thing we know for sure, it will finish hard. They have to get it there, though. I think it's short. Oh, they might have just got it there for second shot. It's not shot, but they might be second shot, and that's crucial.
Yeah, it does look as though they're in for second. And China need to be very careful.
Watch the team effort here on the sweep.
It was so close to being perfect. Dragging it as far as they could.
Maximum effort from Team Korea to drag that one just biting the front button. We think it's in second shot position. China with one to come. Taking a long look at this. It is a potential shot for three, but it's not without risk. There's a great look at it. What do you think, folks? Boy, that's close.
I think it'd be worth a measure.
You'd certainly measure it if you're China and you thought that was for an extra point. No doubt.
My goodness, China need to be careful here. That red.
Yeah. Move that at all. Curtains.
Yep. It looks very tempting, though, because if they get this yellow right, red onto yellow onto red, two reds go out of play, it could be a big end here.
Well, here we go, rolling the dice, Team China. Zhang Yilun, here we go, folks. Buckle up. Playing for a bundle. Yellow. Yellow kills her own. It's a single point for China. We'll never know if that second stone was going to be second shot. It's a single point. Kills her own shot. China is on the board. This game is tied, but disappointment. Let's take another look. They wanted to hit this one slightly on the outside to drive it into the button area, but they went straight back, picked their own off. Net result, only a single point for China. After 3 ends of play in this women's semifinal, we're tied at 1.
누구든지 약간 있어도 돼 해주면 더 만들 수 있어.
라인이 루녀가 저기 근데 나쁘진 않았어. 조금 아쉬워. 괜찮은데.
뭔가 이렇게 해주면 아 약간 있어도 되구나.
Welcome back to the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the women's semifinal, 2 versus 3 at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. China with the first stone of this fourth end, center guard. Pressure's on, and you can see it reflected really on both teams. You can understand why, given what's at stake. Not just a place in the gold medal game, but also qualifying their member association into the Women's World Curling Championships.
Which in turn has ramifications for Olympics.
Absolutely
with
right,
ranking
Rana.
points. So there's so much at stake in this game.
Corner guard. First time in the match that Korea's actually had last rock. China opened with the hammer. Korea stole a point in 2. China scored a point in 3, and that's where we are, fourth end. Shindy holding up her hand saying, please stop, please stop. 3/4 around, front 4, nice shot.
Yeah, so she was alternate. For the Chinese team at the Olympic Winter Games, finished 5th in this very venue 9 months ago.
So these are familiar surroundings for Shindy.
Lovely stone.
Cuddles one up to the Chinese stone at the front of the 4-foot circle. Nice shot. Dong Suchi. 80% for the tournament at the second position for China.
Yeah, she skipped the Chinese team at the World Juniors in Aberdeen earlier this year. So she'd played this Korean team. She actually skipped the Chinese team to bronze medal, where Korea finished 6th. So she knows this Korean team very well.
Right. Tap, tap, tap.
That's a good result. Just trying to build up something on that centre line.
Yeah, it's looking very mixed double E. Just by the center. And cuddles in.
So Korea recognise this could be danger. They want to open up the front, give themselves another corner guard.
2 corners now for Korea. Nice shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
It's like a 2-for-1. You move the guard away that you want to get rid of, and you leave yourself a guard that you would quite like to use.
Absolutely. Perfect shot.
And we see the stones and the rings all tight-roped right along the center line. Dong Suchi. Yes, the players on these teams have seen quite a lot of each other this year. They also faced each other at the recent Curling World Cup in Suzhou.
Yeah, they were in sections there, so it was a double round robin, so they played each other twice.
Right.
Because this Chinese team have only been together for 4 months. And the third and skip have got a lot of experience. They've both played at several World Women's Championships. But it's their first season with the front end coming in, and just 4 months together.
Well, they're looking like they've been playing together for years. They've had a very good tournament.
근데 이거 정이 더 괜찮나 롤보다?
살짝 바깥쪽이야. 근데 좀 힘이 있어야 돼. 해가 업까지.
Yang Tae. Also at 80% for the tournament. Sweeping for curl now, trying to get some contact. Does jiggle them around a little bit, unlocks them. But they do leave the Chinese stones covered by that center guard. Let's have another look. Well by that guard. I think they were hoping for a little more contact on that top stone to push the back stone deeper.
And keep their shooter in play.
Yes.
Behind that corner that they had put there, but rolls out. China could put up a guard. They're tempted to hit that red because it's open. But if they put up a guard in this, then Korea are going to have to open it up.
Yeah, it would be a very tough angle tap for Korea because they'd really have to flirt with the corner guard to make it. Liu said yeah. The skip. Throwing it third, stones.
Oh, just maybe slightly over curled, but it does block the way in. But Korea not wasting any time. Go for the double clear.
Wants to hit it pretty much where the brush is. Kim Hye-rin. Nice shot.
Great shot there.
Leaves the corner guards double stacked. Clears the center. Nice shot. Jiang Yilun asking Liu Sejia to put that guard back.
This is a tricky one because they can't cover both sides here. And as we've seen, it's quite difficult to guard on this swinging ice.
Sure is.
This is coming further in though.
It's actually into the rings.
They could leave the plant onto the red. No, it just came in at the end. Maybe, no, it could.
Might be some drag if you
Yep.
hit that one on the nose, and it might just squirt by the red stone.
Yeah, if they'd maybe just swept that and held it on that side a bit more, that would have actually been a very good result.
이렇게 맞는 게 아니잖아, 아웃턴으로. 인턴이라. B플랜. 살짝 스톱 살아야 돼. 필로 올래.
So we might get a chance to see this so-called drag effect. Those two yellow stones, they look like they're lined up to hit the red shot, but if you hit that stone right where the brush is, the angle actually changes off the back stone. There you go.
Perfect.
Squirts it right by that red shot.
That was a sweeping error there from China.
Nice shot by Kim Hye-rin.
Great shot. And they've got their counter behind the corner guard.
Changes the dynamics of this end.
So ideally for China, you know, they want to keep the second counter in, but if they could roll off the left of this red in behind that cover on the wing, that would cancel out that stone that's there for Korea.
Jang Yi-lun.
Has also been an alternate at the Olympic Games. The Chinese team in Russia in 2014.
Gets to the nose.
Not bad. It doesn't leave an easy double, but ideally the roll would have been nice.
See from the brush tapping of Kim Min-ji what she'd like to do. Wants to hit this stone and roll it over into the center line in front of the Chinese rock.
Even a roll behind the corner would
behind the
really
corner
put the
would be nice.
pressure
I'm with you, Rona.
onto because as we've seen, guarding one single stone in this ice is very tricky.
Absolutely.
아니 타이트하면 숨는 것도 나쁘진 않을 것 같아.
75% for the tournament. Big shot here.
덤퍼. 약간 아니야 웨이트 좋아. 웨이트 좋아. 웨이트 좋아. 웨이트 좋아. 웨이트 좋아.
Well, they got that inside roll they were looking for, squarely in front of that Chinese rock. Nice shot.
Now this is one where China have to be very careful because there is a potential 3 on here
Exactly
for Korea.
right.
So where's the best place to put this?
Yes, Rona, you're exactly right. Really tough to guard on this ice.
再稍微来一点的呢？OK，行，OK，这点。
Any other options beside the guard, Rona?
Yeah, I would quite like coming in lying. Even third shot at the moment, that if Korea go for the raise, they would only score 1, they couldn't get a 2.
Right.
So if they bring that second counter in
That
to
would,
8 foot over on the right hand side,
right, that would neutralize it.
yeah,
哇哇，线太小了，哇
because this is a tricky, tricky shot to guard here.
哇，线特别小，哇。
不能碰。
Sweeper's not laying a brush to it. They know it's already threatening to over curl. They do not want this stone to cross the center line, but it will.
That's a big mistake there.
And here is the chance that Korea were hoping for. Got that nice inside roll to sit in front of the Chinese stone. Now she just wants to get to the nose, straight back, and if she can do that, that would be 3.
웨이트는
I didn't like that call there from China. Very risky.
여기 많이 떨어지면 안
No, I liked your thinking, Rona, of that stone drawn into the back of the 8 to really
돼. 콜 많이 해줘.
make this kind of big score impossible. Still have to make it, but a big chance here for Korea.
But she gave herself the chance with playing that great hit and roll there first.
Sure did. Here we go.
Very straight arm release.
Well, they're on and they're off. That's usually a good sign.
Looking good.
Perfect. Korea scores 3. Nice hit and roll on the first to set it up, and a nice conversion on the hammer shot to clinch the 3. Kim Min-ji and her teammates put 3 on the board. Let's have another look. Right on the nose, straight back into the Chinese counter for a big 3-point end. After 4 ends of play, that puts Korea into a 4-1 lead.
웨이트도 약간 헤비해. 잠시 기다릴게.
에리나 틀리네.
아니야 헤비야.
아니야 괜찮아. 타이트해줘.
자, 하나, 샷.
Welcome back to the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the women's semifinal. We're here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Korea taking on China. Hans Franlob here with Rona Howie. Rona, Korea with 2 very nice skip shots to nail a big 3-point end there in the 4th.
Yeah, really great play. Stone positioning was spot on from Korea. They built the end up well. They used their corners well.
Saw that really nice drag effect double takeout by Kim Hye-rin. Turned the end around, and then Kim Min-ji closed it out with 2 beauties. Let's see what China can do with the hammer here in 5. Kim Soo-jin. A few people have asked us, Team Kim Un-jun, the Olympic silver medalist, where are they? Well, there was actually a play down to select which team was going to represent Korea at Pacific Asia Championships, and this team won that play down.
Yep, they did. They won the right to be here.
I'm sure over the coming months and years we will still see much more of Team Kim Un-jun.
I definitely think so, but I think the build-up they had to the Olympic Games was so intense that they just decided they wanted to take a year out. But I'm sure they'll be back with a vengeance.
No doubt.
But in the meantime, this young junior Korean team are getting a lot of experience out here.
Yep.
And playing very well.
The future is now for Korean curling. This team of 18 and 19-year-olds footing it with world-class competition and looking very comfortable doing it. Bit of a game of cat and mouse going on here. 2 corner guards set by China. 2 Korean stones in the rings, and here we go again with that 5 rock free guard situation.
Yep, where do we go now?
Can't clear, would like to, but can't.
And just because the Korean stones aren't ideally placed, as in not top tee and then kind of 12 foot, 8 foot, it is back tee. So they know that China could use that to freeze on.
Yang Tae trying to drag this as far as they can to get curl and a bit of cover. Pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's nice.
Covers the path to that stone in the back of the 4.
Yeah, China know that's a danger zone. They just want to clear it now.
Right.
As long as they, you know, they can get a 2 back here, there's still plenty ends to play in this game. There's no need to panic.
Dong Suchi looking to open it up a bit here for China. Stuffs it. Is she going to hang around? Will it spin in the rings? Not quite.
Oh, nearly.
Not quite. It's not bad. It's just a fraction of 14.
Yeah, and this Chinese team also are developing. The top end have both skipped at major championships and brought in a new front end. Only been together 4 months. But with the next Olympic being in Beijing in 2022, China are really investing into their curling teams right now. They're even building a new curling facility in Beijing.
Yang Tae trying to clear. Rips the corner. Liu Sejiao.
可甩一个呢？选一个吧。选一个。行。行。但这边稍微直一点。
10 end games. We are in the 5th.
线路开，力量很大吗？8，很大的顶线擦磕，必须顶线擦磕。不行吧？线还是大吧？5，带着点啊，下来了。2，5。
Just looking to nuzzle these around a bit, Rona.
Yeah, just trying to tap at the back tee, maybe give them something to play with later in the end. I ideally wanted their shooter to go behind the corner guard.
It does sit in the open.
So because that double's on in the reds, it's important here for Korea just to keep this counter in the rings. They could roll over and guard their reds, or even nosing it prevents China from drawing round the corner.
Choking off the corner guard, it's always a good thing to be able to do if you can.
That's fancy.
혜린아 릴리즈 계속 많이 빼는 거야? 많이 빼. 줄여줄게. 주문이랑. 계속 넣었어요. 주면 올리는 거. 打定反战。加。40。
3 Korean stones in the rings.
Yeah, China need to be slightly careful. They don't need to go gung-ho here. They've got to make sure they score.
They trail by 3. Another steal would not be a good thing. Absolutely right.
So just deciding to make a play on these reds in the house. Can just catch it to sit in front of the other. That's pretty good effort.
Yeah, gets a little inside flop. Gets cover. Liu Sejiao.
Yeah, can raise their own red straight back here.
It's a bit of a teaser. There's enough
It
of it.
is.
You can see enough of it that you want to chase it, but then you think, oh, it's a bit tight. Maybe we run our own back.
30이면 그냥 맞기만 하면 괜찮을 것 같아.
That was a nice little inside roll there for Liu Sejiao.
나쁘지 않아. 이게 6에 있고 백티에 있거든. 근데 난 이게 더 좋을 것 같긴 해. 30?
30.
택.
화이팅.
She's going to play a tap back, wait.
Yeah, I thought I heard her say hack.
방금
그냥 어려워 보이면 이것도 있어. 둘 다 괜찮은 것 같아 나는. 살짝만 바깥쪽 맞으면 되긴 하거든.
쉬운 거,
Still
쉬운
some
거 봐,
discussion.
쉬운 거.
Yep.
화이팅.
노말.
Now they've switched up and they are going to play the run back. Red onto yellow.
괜찮아.
Challenge will be saving their shooter.
They're on this early.
Oh, real urgency in the sweeping call here, trying to hold the line. Oh, super shot. Great sweep, great team shot.
Yeah, great result.
Oh, you could really hear the urgency in the sweeping call. Paid off. Look at that result. Great sweep, nice shot. One more look. Terrific.
China now choosing to go around the corner guard.
Ooh, my.
And that stone of Korea's that is lying short is back tee. They could have frozen that, cause a bit of problem.
China really rolling the dice.
They are, because if Korea call their bluff here and guard.
The stone is going to slide deep in the 8 foot, but it is second shot. That's pretty crucial. Let's take a little comparison at the delivery of these 4-stone throwers. On the left, we have Jiang Yilun. Pretty upright delivery.
Quite a loose handle.
이렇게 빼는 거지.
Not got a tight grip on it.
Yeah.
팔 좋아. 칠도 해주는 핵 같아.
And on the right, we have Kim Min-ji. A little bit more further forward.
And very deliberate
Yeah, a real pop.
straight
with the
arm
release.
release.
Yes.
I've noticed that with all the Koreans today. They've certainly been, they must have been doing some technical work on the releases, because they're all very similar with the straight arm.
Big pop, big
Release.
straight arm release. Big rotation. That's something that players that play a lot on arena ice, as this Korean team has, and they're taught very early on, lazy handles are bad.
Yes.
You need to have a good positive rotation on arena ice.
So looking just to remove this yellow and get a roll over.
Looking to stick around. Will it stay in the back ring? I think it might just spill.
Oops.
Kim Min-ji, it's close. Certainly lying 3, and they got the main job done, which was getting rid of the Chinese stone. Good shot.
I'm still surprised that they're not going for a freeze on that shot stone here. Because if they come round, even if they're second shot, she could be facing 2 or more Korean counters with her last stone.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see what the shot choice of Kim Min-ji is going to be in response to this shot. It's quite difficult to see China being in shot rock position after this stone. This is really playing to try and set up a deuce, force a mistake, and then capitalize.
So line looks good.
They do hide it behind that corner guard. That's what they were going for. Second shot, nice shot. And you can see Kim Min-ji, she's had time to think about this and says, I want to corner freeze it.
Yeah, really well played shot. passes the guard and completely buries.
Yeah, very nice stone. So you play that shot when you're gambling that you might get a half miss from your opponent, and if you do, that's how you get a 2. But if Kim Min-ji
근데 나도 그것도
gets her
나쁘지 않은 것
own
같아.
stone,
And now they're looking at the
they are
guard.
looking at the guard. They're thinking, if we make the guard,
괜찮은 것 같긴 한데.
Yep, if we
What are
make
they
the
gonna
guard,
do?
what are they going to do?
근데 잘 서 있긴 해 하우스에 가까.
근데 만약에 가드 못해도 이거
first instinct was to follow the Chinese stone down, but now they're going to have a chat about it.
And this is what I was saying about Korea calling
Call the bluff.
call the bluff, because
Yeah.
China didn't make a play to freeze that shot in the forefoot.
괜찮아.
안 보여주니까.
어차피 이게 다 물려 있어서.
괜찮을 것 같아. 가드가
Yeah.
날 것 같아.
If you sit at top 8, cover the path, how do you get 2?
Yep,
일단 넷 보고 좋으면
네. 그냥 라인만 셋, 넷 다 좋아.
absolutely. Korea are 3 up in the game. They don't need to be too clever here.
Yeah, force of 1's brilliant for Korea.
Absolutely.
아니 그냥 라인만.
많이 오는 건 안 좋아.
And that's why I think China will be kicking themselves now that they've allowed them to put up this guard.
Right. Because if Korea can get this one to cover the shot, full in the 12 foot, even if China makes the double takeout, the other Korean stones will outcount them. There is no way for China to get 2. Have to throw it to a very precise spot, though.
좀 있다. 헤비야.
She's got a wee bit leeway. If it goes a wee bit further, then okay, she may leave a double. But it's the line that's
Exactly.
key here.
It's all about the line.
It's going to come in though for
Wants to be second
second
shot.
shot.
Interesting. That ratchets it up even more.
Because now if China hit that on the nose, they wouldn't lie. Second shot if they took the double.
Yeah, that was really gutsy to sweep it that deep, but it will still work out. Nice shot.
Yep. Great call, great execution.
Yeah, good awareness of the situation. China makes the double takeout. The stone to the left of Liu Sejia would be second shot.
But she has to go for the double because she needs to get that shot
It's the only way to score.
off the forefoot.
Well, she could score by drawing, but that
Yep.
would be risky too, because she would have to get really near to that corner guard.
So now she's facing a very difficult shot to even score 1.
Right. Even if she makes it great, we think it's going to be very difficult for her to score more than 1. Looking to go across the top and maybe get inside roll enough to score 2. Don't know if it's there. On the nose, definitely not going to get 2.
No, so she does need to catch it just slightly inside the nose to lift the double. But will it roll enough to outcount the other red? They're on this early. Oh,
Makes the double, but it sticks around, and it's another steal for Korea. Nice guard there. Korea calling China's bluff. China jams. Korea steals. Another point on the board for Kim Min-ji and company. And as we reach the midpoint of this women's semifinal, Korea leads it by a score of 5-1. We'll be back after a short break.
너무 쉽게 1점을 줄라 했던 것 같아.
어제 인원수 많아서.
우리 이렇게 안 들어갔었으면 이쪽.
Last stone for China's Zhang Yilun in the second end, trying to draw for two, but a little bit heavy, rattles him around, and Korea steals. Third end. Again, lots of stones clustered around the button area. Zhang Yilun trying to run back to get three, but slightly over curls, and it's only a single point for China. Fourth end after a fantastic hit and roll and then a missed guard. It's a short run back opportunity for Kim Min-ji to possibly score three, and she nails it. 3 points for Korea.
다 생각했어야지. 그래. 항상 너희는 그것만 알아. 맞히는 것만 생각해. 앞에 거 당연히 피해서 맞는 거 있잖아. 너무 약하게 차. 아우터는 지금도 약하게 찬 거야. 발이 너무 늦게 들어가. 몸이 너무 앞으로 쏠려있기 때문에 그래. 발 받치고 차야 돼, 왼발을. 잘하고 있어. 지금. 슈팅이 괜찮아.
How do we feel? Good? Good? Good. As we're eating?
Yes. The game no finish.
Exactly. You guys have a really good second half. So always in every other game, you've played very good on the second half. So let's do that, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Just dig down and go for it. Leave nothing on the table. Just go for everything, okay?
Comparison in the shooting percentages. Very slight edge to Korea overall in shooting percentage terms. Big edge on their hits, but those two stolen points in that big 3-point end in the fourth. The difference so far in this one, Korea with a solid 5-1 lead halfway through this women's semifinal at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Back to the action here at the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic venue. Hans Fraumlab, I'm joined by Rona Howie, and Rona, not unexpectedly, two very different sets of demeanors in the team huddles there at the fifth end break. Korea, pretty perky and upbeat, not over the top, but Team China in particular, Zhang Yilun looking quite downcast, even though the coach was asking him, are you good? And answering yes. The body language is quite different.
Certainly was. They were saying yes, but was the body language actually showing that?
Right.
You know, but as I said, you know, there's 5 ends to play, so there's plenty time. The game is certainly not over, especially the new 5 rock rule.
Absolutely. 5 rock free guard zone. You can accumulate points quickly with the hammer.
But you just don't want the body language to show that you're beat yet, because
Absolutely.
you're not. Until that last stone's thrown, the game's not over. But there is a difference. The Korean team are laughing and joking more upbeat.
And these are both very young teams, but Korean team in particular having less top level experience, lots of junior experience. They'll be riding the wave of confidence positively or negatively, won't they? And so if things are going well, you can get on a roll, and if things aren't going so well, it can be tough to battle through because you just haven't been in those situations as often.
And you have to experience those situations to know how to deal with them.
Right.
You can't, it's all right saying, well, this is what you would do, but you have to be in that situation to learn from it And see, both these teams are young, and they're both going to learn a lot from this week. And, you know, yes, the winner of this game gets a berth at the World Women's Championships this year, but the loser of this game still has a second chance from the World Qualifying event in New Zealand.
That's absolutely right, Rona.
So it's not a major disaster.
No.
Obviously, it's nicer to go through in your first chance.
Yes. 2 Korean stones nicely placed in the rings. China setting their corner guards. Kim Soo-jin, 88%, above her tournament average. It's a good time to have a big game.
And that's another learning curve for these players out there. When you get to the playoff stages, you need to up your game. So however you've played all week is really irrelevant. This is the one-off game, and you have to bring that performance out now.
Jiang Xindi at 95%. She's doing everything she can for Team China. So 2 corner guards are up. 5 rock free guard zone, can't hit them yet. Yang Tae.
라인 올리면서. 좀 빨라 기다려. 라인 올리면서.
The women's gold medal game will be played on Saturday. The other women's semifinal will be played tomorrow afternoon local time here in Gangneung. Maybe a little tighter than they would like, but they're all lined up well on that center line.
Yep, that's really good placing from Korea. They're 4 up in the game. They're not going to leave much granite about. But the good thing is that China have got last stone. They want to try and get a few. But the placing of these Korean stones is making China have to move them. Ideally, China would like to be drawing and freezing to things right now, or drawing around corner guards. But they're actually having to move these stones.
Dong Soo-chi looking to roll behind cover. She does. Pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's a lovely stone.
So now the guard clearing can begin if Kim Min-ji wants to do that.
괜찮은 것 같아. 슈터 살릴 수 있어?
Lining up a potential angle raise takeout, clearing shot. Yang Tae composing herself. Wants to drive the yellow onto the yellow and spill them both away.
그냥 필면 봐. 아니야. 돌리지 마.
Catches it thin. Doesn't pick off the stone in the rings, but she does clear the corner guard. That was the primary task. Still a long corner guard up for China. Lu Sejiao. In contrast to her teammate Jiang, I thought that Lu's focus in the halftime huddle was a bit more steely determination. She seems to be geared up to fight all the way to the finish, which is the attitude that you absolutely have to have when you know you're going to have to scrap your way back into this game.
Yeah, if they take a 2 at every end, that they have the hammer and force a 1 by the 10th end, they'll be peels.
Absolutely.
So it's very doable.
Pushing the Korean stones around, so 2 red stones in the ring are Korean and the 2 yellow stones belong to China. Kim Hye-rin. Well, yes, whoa, yes, whoa. What's it gonna be? Nose hit. That long corner guard at the top of our picture. It's more of a visual distraction around for the Yellowstone top 8 foot. It does mean that you can only get at it one way on the outturn side.
What's important now for China is to make sure that this second yellow counter they bring in, that they don't leave a double on the yellows.
Right.
So they could actually hit that red that's cider brush there and roll behind the other red.
Yes.
But they looked at freezing the back red.
Which wouldn't be a bad play either, but you have to be very precise. Lou said, yeah, 73% for the game. A bit below her tournament average. She's looking to crank it up here in the second half.
Yeah, so important here where the shooter rolls. Need to keep it in play.
Just on the nose. And it's an interesting time of the game for Team Korea. You're up 4. And it's a bit too early in the game to think defense, in the sense that you're really kind of okay with giving up 2 without too much of a scrap. You're still thinking force, but at the same time, under no circumstances do you want to do anything silly and drop a 3.
No.
So it's kind of an uncomfortable mode defensively. Which sounds kind of weird when you're 4 up, but that's a very nice shot. Just tucks a corner behind that front stone.
Yeah, it's a great result.
Which means that China can't get inside and get behind cover.
Even if they tap that back and get their shooter to roll over, yeah, behind, that would be a good result. Split their yellows again. Just need to tap it back though, don't need to play a big weight. Try and keep their shooter.
China just trying to massage these stones around the rings just to try to get their stones into a position. Force a half miss, get their pair. Working this one to get this by the stone in the top 8 foot. Oh, they just feather it. Just feather it, changes the direction.
Oh, that was so unlucky.
Just grazed the stone at the top 8 foot. Thought they were by, but it just feathered it. Have another look here. Watch really closely when it gets to that stone at the front 8. There! Changes the direction. And the 2 Korean rocks survive behind cover.
Yeah, just that difference that if they were past, it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was wired if they're by.
So that slight graze on the top stone makes it now very difficult for China to build up a 2 here.
It's a game of millimeters. Bit of a discussion now for Team Korea. Well, they're going to take their timeout right now. Interesting. Early in the game. 6th end, but big choice here.
It is. As you say, it's an important time in the game.
The super defensive play would be clear the corner guard. But looking at the situation with 4 rocks to come and you're lying 2 covered, you might think about trying to you corner freeze that stone. The long guard is not really a factor as far as the scoring goes here.
노란 거 위에다가 이렇게 겹치게 세워대고 루밍 면상 돌아 들어오는데 걔랑 TAT 앞으로 해가지고
아들보다 일단 하우스에 들어오는 거.
그렇지. 그래가지고 레이즈 쳐도 상관없어.
네. A를 이걸로. 네.
지금 프리즈 이렇게
노란색.
노란색,
네.
빨간색.
네, 네.
약간 맞아도 내려와도 상관없어.
네.
약간 세면은 맞고 하고 슈터 세우고.
네.
그래봤자 조금밖에 공간밖에 없어, 맞지?
네.
대신 너무 많이 바깥쪽으로 맞으면 안 되지.
네, 네.
살짝 그 대신 1, 2분 유지하고.
네.
오케이?
네.
지금
네.
열면은 어차피 얘네 갖다 붙여.
네.
오케이?
네.
지금 더 쪼여야 돼.
넷.
오케이?
네.
약간 살짝 그냥 푸시가 낮다고 생각해.
네.
길면 어쩔 수 없어. 길면 얘네 치면 어차피 얘네 따라 들어와.
네.
그럼 너희도 저 뒤에 있기 때문에 너희도 같이 커머라운드 해가지고
네.
점수 줄이면 돼.
네.
right, conference over.
여기까지 들어오면 안 된다.
아 그냥 살짝 그냥 5 정도 웨이트.
Seem to have settled on corner freezing the Chinese stone at the front ring.
내거 가도 몇
You like that choice, Rona?
네 바꿨죠?
I do. I think, as you said, you know, the long corner guard, but do you know what? That corner guard is so long, it really isn't a danger to Korea.
오케이.
And I think a half check on this would be a great result.
올리느라 서로 해준 거라서 괜찮을
Take away the path to the shots. It would take away a raise for China.
It would still leave something for China to draw around,
It would,
but Korea could then follow and force the one.
yes. Kim Min-ji. Saw her place a guard perfectly in the previous end to set up a steal. See if she can do it again. Don't really want to bounce the Chinese stone, but they will just. Yeah, just overswept. They are line 3. Now, here we go.
So China could take that red that's just been played and remove one of the back ones and roll over and separate their yellow.
They could.
But
They could
if
tap.
Korea then come in, they could still lie 2 and force the one anyway.
China
So-
could tap their own, but they are electing to draw around,
对，或者你漏一半，你让他全拿，
gambling that if they do make it, that Kim Min-ji would miss the run back.
今天选死来，稍微往后一点，离他尽量能远一点。
The one benefit for Korea of not corner freezing is that if Jiang does make this shot, the red run back reasonably straightforward for Korea.
Yeah, it's very easy because it's very open there for Korea to use. So making a great shot here is very easy for Korea to remove it.
Exactly.
And that's why I think if she'd taken the top one and one of the back ones, she was
Yes.
lying 2nd and 3rd.
Yes. I'm with you. This is a situation where even if you make it perfect, you might not get the payoff.
Does let her see the line and weight in case she needs to play this with her last
Well,
one.
that's true.
But it needs to bury.
It's on the button, but maybe a 3rd buried. Does leave a choice for Korea. Is a risk of a jam if you try to go at the Chinese stone directly. And if you are playing the run back, the angle isn't straight back, so chance for Korea to blow it by if they get to nose instead of getting a cross nose. There's a great look.
쉬울 것 같은데.
Well, looks like they are going to try to play directly to the stone. A risk for Korea if they catch it thin, sideways jam onto those stones to the left of our screen.
But even then, it would likely jam on the
On the back
back
stone.
of the red one.
So it's a
and
question about
spin
whether
off,
it would
so-
spill or spin.
yeah.
Exactly right.
여기 센터 넘어가면
So they could still lie 2 and be forcing the one.
Yeah, she has to hit at least half of the stone not to jam. There's that positive release.
She's played a nice controlled weight.
Oh, good looking stone here. Very nicely played.
Beautiful
Great.
shot.
Great touch there from Kim Min-ji. It was that control weight. Let you do so much with the brushing. Cool under fire, Kim Min-ji. Korea lies 4.
Yeah, Korea have played a really good end here. Forcing one, they'll be very happy with that.
Well, and this is one of these situations where don't want to wish any ill will at all on Jang Yi-lun, but boy, drawing against 4, this is kind of a game shot right here. Must make.
Sweepers are keeping off it right now.
Definitely enough to be there. Is it enough to stop is the question. How far is it going to go? How far is it going to go? It is a steal of a single point for Korea. Just too deep, slightly too deep, and Korea steals a point. Korea are unbelievably efficient without last rock. That's another steal for them. They lead it 6-1 after 6.
많이 내려가. 열하나. 죽고 있어. 아니야, 건들지 마. 죽고 있어. 열이야, 열. 백티. 기다려. 아직 라인 중이야. 혜린아, 아직 라인 많이 rum이야. 약간 헤비야. 살아있어. 아니야, 티야.
Well, some Korean curling fans pretty happy about how things are going so far in this one. Good dance moves, Korean flag, everything going on here at the Gangneung Curling Center. Okay, oh, sister's in on the act too. Fantastic. It's amazing that there's somebody in the rink younger than this Korean team.
Yeah, certainly the Olympics here 9 months ago have been a great benefit for the sport, with Korean's team success obviously helping, and more and more people are talking about curling in Korea.
No, that's absolutely right, Rona. I was privileged enough to be in Korea during the Winter Olympics and watching day by day the phenomenon of the Korean population who really didn't know much about the sport, the general population, watching their team, Kim Eun-jung, in the women's event, progress, win games, get themselves into the medal round, and they became stars overnight in Korea. Still my most amazing statistics out of the entire Olympic Games, the semifinal game between Japan and Korea. I read an article that said 43% of all the televisions in Korea were tuned in to that match on that night, which is unbelievable. This is a country of 70 million people.
Yep, the power of television.
Indeed.
At an Olympic Games. It's great for helping that awareness for minority sports.
Yeah, it's great to be back here at the Olympic venue for this Pacific Asia Curling Championships, isn't it?
So, very normal setups from Leeds. Two great shots there.
Yang Tae.
And this is where the 5 rock rule hands, this stone now, is the key one.
Can't throw a clearing rock, so you need to decide where you want to put it. Korea electing to keep with the strategy of just stack them up along the center line. It's worked well for them so far. They have stolen 3 ends in this game. And with stealing a point in that 6th end and that even end, as we start heading towards the end of this 10-end game, now Korea can allow strategically this thought of managing the scoreboard enter a little bit more into their thinking.
Yeah, only 4 ends remaining, and they have a 5-shot advantage. So they don't want any clutter about. They're quite happy to keep it clean from now on.
So for Korea, they know when they get last rock, they just have to keep scoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice shot there from China. Unlocks the Korean stone, sits their own stone annoyingly in front of them. So Kim Min-ji says, all right, have to ignore that for now. Time to clear a corner guard. Yang Tae. Nice shot. Tae is, of this foursome, the player most capable of throwing that big clearing weight, and she showed it to us there. Very nice shot.
Yeah, even since watching this team, the young Koreans play in Aberdeen last year at the World Juniors, their deliveries are more consistent, they're more similar to each other.
Right.
So they've clearly been working on the technical side of the game for the last few months. They've got so much potential. They've still got a couple of years in the juniors.
Right.
And they're still playing at this standard right now. It's a very exciting time for Korean curling.
Absolutely. Definitely not a one-hit wonder in the sense of Team Kim Lin-jung. There are really 4 or 5 internationally competitive Korean women's teams.
And you know, the new concept of the Curling World Cup, for them to get the opportunity as a junior team to go and play in that very first leg.
Yes.
Great experience.
Yeah, absolutely right, Rona.
Playing the best teams in the world.
Dong Soo-chi. The next leg of Curling World Cup will be in Omaha in the USA.
So they looked here at whether to tap their yellow up or just tap the red back. But again, it's just making sure they don't leave an easy takeout on their own yellows. They want to force Korea to make a mistake and jam.
Didn't quite get the nose freeze they're looking for, so there's some risk of a jam here for Kim Min-ji, but they should be able to remove the Chinese rock.
But even at this stage in the game, Korea, if they remove their own stones from the head, it doesn't matter.
No major.
They don't need to score.
Exactly.
They're happy to force one. Even if they lose a 2 here, it's not a disaster.
After looking at the angles a bit, seems like she wants to hit the inside of that yellow stone, just pretty much about where the brush is. Get a little inside roll. Kim Hae-rin.
Very steady delivery.
Well, are they making a play on the top stone or the back stone? They're going to get the back stone. That's a nice shot. Pops their own stone out sideways. Very well played.
Really nice shot.
Korea lie 1-2. China in third shot position. Yellowstone belongs to China. Let's have another look at this. So close to that top one, but precision. Good brushing from the team. Nice shot. China doing what they can to generate some offense, but Team Korea seeming having answers for everything so far. Liu Sejia. Trying to promote her own stone. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a nice shot.
Pretty good result there. It's never nice when you're trying to generate several that you're having to hit. You want to be drawing or freezing or tapping back, but they really had no option there.
Well, they left some really good angles now.
They have.
Korea hits the top one on the outside. There's a risk of a jam on the stone to the right of our picture. Teammate's going to come down and have a look at this one. They've already used their timeout, remember?
들어갈까 말까? 아니요, 때려도 그렇게 위로 맞고 나갈 수도 있을 것 같긴 한데.
Your instinct says we got to get one out of there. Sometimes the best guard is second shot.
율로 빼는 게 더 쉽지 않아? 할 거면 이게 나을 것 같아. 응? 이쪽으로 이렇게.
인턴?
얘는 안 나가도 3번이 일단 확실히 나가니까.
차라리 이게 나을 것 같아. 최대한 얇게. 얘만 이렇게 나가도 돼.
그래.
슈터
그게
살릴
나을 거면
거면
이게
이게 나을 것
나은데 버려도
그냥
되면.
최대한 얇게 보이는 게 나을 것 같아.
Up 5, your ever instinct says hit something. Even if you jam, even if you leave China lying 2, hit something.
최대한 얇은 게 좋아.
You certainly don't want to do that. You want to get at least one of these yellow stones out of the rings if they can.
Yeah, they want to catch that side of the top yellow stone that the brush is on there. They want to catch that fairly thin to try and bounce off the other yellow and go out, and then the back yellow would go off the side and miss the red.
Big weight. Good looking shot. Jams as expected, but does remove one of the Chinese counters. Nice shot.
근데 어차피 저건 안 나가서.
Yeah, pretty good result there. So now China are lying the one. How can they make sure they get the second counter in but not leaving a double?
So the 2-point end is on for China if they can trade shots successfully for the rest of the end. Still 5 rocks to come.
They could come in and freeze the back red.
They could. That would be a good call. What do you
Because
say,
then
Joe?
Korea could raise the yellow onto both of them and jam and leave China lying 2.
Yeah, down 5, you definitely have to play to try and force some kind of a mistake. You're going to need a mistake from your opponent to get back in the game.
Could come off the inside and just tap that yellow back onto the red if they come
Yep.
off the inside here.
Get the freeze this way. This is going to work. Pretty good. Might be a chance for the Koreans to just get by that guard enough to make a double takeout, but there is a risk of a jam at the back.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that yellow wasn't pushed further back to freeze that red, and that would have been a great result.
Exactly right.
아웃턴이 날 것 같은데. 그지?
정에서 살짝 안쪽까지 괜찮다.
안쪽 맞아야지.
아웃턴이면.
Time clocks are running. It's not anywhere near a crisis zone yet for Team Korea, but
그럼 페이필도 괜찮을
you
것
can
같은데.
expect that this kind of a lead, they'll be playing
될것 같은데?
more takeout shots and making quicker decisions on clearing shots, so time shouldn't be a problem for them.
아웃턴 가자.
아웃턴 돌아서 맞는 게 나을 것 같아.
Worthwhile sweating the details here in the 7th end. Chance to put the game away, so you don't want to rush it here. Just fractionally across the nose of the rock, possibility of a double takeout. The stone has to curl. Gonna get one. Gonna roll it across. China lies 1.
Yeah, and this is where, if that yellow had gone back and frozen the red, then they hit this and roll over behind the corner.
Game on.
Yes.
And that would be bringing 3 into play. Still a possibility to generate a 3. There is a jam possibility at the back. There is a bit of a gap, but there is a risk. Gonna try to roll this one behind cover to the left of our screen. Jiang Yilun.
9秒5。下线吗？下线。9秒5。你两个。下线。
Lots of rotation. It's going to spin. Is it going to hang around? It's going to spin back. Nice shot. Second shot, super shot. Couldn't do much better, really.
No, a well-played shot. There is plenty of gap here for Korea just to remove this.
She's going to want to stick around, though, Rona, because if she ever spills on this one, Jiang Yilun ducks around. Well, he's going to have an open draw for 2.
It's
basically.
an open draw for two, yeah.
That's right. So the main task here is avoid the jam at the back. Trying to keep it on the high side if they can, and they do. Well swept. Nice shot. That good early sweep read from Kim Hye-rim. Committed to it, kept it on the high side, avoided the jam. And it will be an open hit for China to score their 2-point end. Have another look here at this shot by Kim Min-ji. Loses the stone at the back, but that's actually better for them. Let's see if Jiang Yilun can convert the deuce. It will be the first multiple point end of the game for China if she can make this. No problem there, right on the nose, and so China gets their pair. That brings them closer after 7 ends of play. It's Korea 6, China 3. Welcome back to the Gangneung Curling Center. Women's semifinal, 2 versus 3 in the women's event. China versus Korea. China with a deuce there in the 7th, bringing the score closer, 6-3. Keeping their hopes alive. And this 8th end, you sense, Rona, is going to be pretty telling in terms of the end result.
Yeah, 8th end's always the key end. Korea have got last stone. They're happy to score here. Just a 1, even. Don't want to lose anything against the head.
Conversely, if China were to steal, momentum would be swung around quite a lot.
Definitely would. So this is where China have struggled a wee bit tonight with their stone placement. So 8th end of the game. Now it's time to step up and really cause a problem to Korea. Use the 5 rock rule to your advantage.
2 center guards stacked up there by Jiang Xin-di. There's the comparison. Nice games from both of the lead players, both 90 plus. Nice playing.
Yep, they've certainly done their job tonight.
Sure have. Looking to hide a piece behind those centers. Nice shot. Top 4 foot, just hiding a corner.
Oh, there's some debate going
Bit
on.
of discussion.
Something about sweeping.
Not sure if there's a claim of a burned rock here. We'll just wait. Officials being called onto the playing surface.
Yeah, they're saying it was burnt. So basically they're saying while Korea were sweeping that red stone coming down, one of the sweepers touched the rock.
If there is contact with the stone in motion, there are options available to the non-offending team. You're not allowed to touch a stone in motion with your brush. There we see Team Korea. Just waiting to hear what the calls from the officials are going to be on this one. There we see the Korean players. We won't necessarily see this. We'll watch this really closely just to see if we can look at the reactions of the players. That's usually quite telling.
Yeah.
And there you can see in the background.
Straight away you can see.
Straight away. Zhang Xindi said, I heard a touch.
But they've spoken to the Korean team. They've all denied touching it. So play will carry on.
Okay.
It's never a nice situation.
No, it's not.
The spirit of curling, and you know, if anybody does touch a stone, they usually will take it off straight away. You're honest enough that that's what you would do.
Absolutely right. Dong Suchi.
But anyway, China have the chance to come around these two centre guards now.
Trying to corner freeze that redstone. Actually going to
Just rubbed off it.
squeak by it. Nice shot. Well, it's a short raise, red to yellow, to remove the Chinese counter. But you look at those two center guards up at the top of the screen. You look at the scoreboard, and you'd wonder why you're leaving them there. Dead even between the second players, 79% for both of them. Yang Tae. Shot call has been changed. They are, in fact, going to deal to the center guard. Removing the top one.
Yep, that was well played. It's always difficult when there's been a break in play, when an incident like that occurs.
Right.
And you're the one that's been sweeping, and you're the one that allegedly has touched a stone. You've got to be able to bin that, forget it, move on. And
Right.
You can't control that. That's happened, it's passed. Move on to what you can control, and that's the next shot.
Wise words from an Olympic champion.
So China would like to not leave a double peel in the guard, so they want to bring that one a wee bit further in.
That's good stone. Oh, this one on it immediately. Good stones.
Good clearing.
어, 잘했어. 어.
It's a situation for Korea. I'm sure they don't want this to happen. Even giving up a steal of a single point would not be fatal. They don't want that. They obviously want to score. What they can't handle is dropping a steal of 2. Lu Sejia.
Although China's got the shot on the button and they're guarding, that red is very usable for Korea at the side of it. So China are aware of that. But right now they have to just keep putting up the guard and hope for an error from Korea.
Well, really the situation for China, pretty straightforward. 3 ends to play, 3 points down. You're effectively looking to steal. You're going to have to steal the extra end as well.
Yep. And with the new 5-rock rule, certainly
It's possible.
very possible.
Remember, Korea has already stolen 3 ends themselves in this game. That inside-out delivery of Kim Hye-rin, clearing that center guard. And there she is. Bit of an edge over Lu Sejia. There's the Chinese skip, throwing 3rd stones. Trying to claw their way back into this game. Got a pair in the last end. Trying to protect their shot rock to steal this 8th.
Quite a lot of rotation on this.
The more rotation, the less it curls. It really bites at the end, though, when you've got big rotation, and now you can see it really making a move.
Could actually freeze this red and get a good result out of this.
That kind of works. So much for the easy raise onto the shot rock.
If it just curled to the inside of that red, it was a great result.
Would have locked it out.
But it was supposed to be a guard, so just a wee bit heavy.
Get a look at the Olympic rings on the top of those stones. This is the set of stones that they used at the Olympic Games.
많이 바깥쪽이면 안 좋아. 타이트하면 이것도 있어, 혜린아.
수진이 슈터 컨트롤 좀 안 맞게.
All made from the granite from Ailsa Craig,
And where is Ailsa Craig?
the west coast of Scotland.
Of course.
안 돼, 안 돼, 안 돼, 안 돼.
Kim Hye-rin. Well. China lies 2.
And the red is
A
going
center
to
guard.
provide a guard for China to come around again.
Well, don't go for your popcorn just yet, folks. This game is not over.
Even if China come in and freeze dead on top of that yellow, because if they do leave it too short, Korea will just raise the red in.
I'm with you, Rona.
If they could come in and weld one right on top,
Go for the pin. Absolutely.
你想手点吗？
加油！
And that would force a very interesting decision from Korea. Would you be into a situation where you'd say, I'm happy to concede 2 and hit the open one?
你先带着点儿。
Still 2 rocks to come for Team Korea.
力量小，力量小。
I don't think it's...
It's a pretty good rock. I don't know if it's going to get to button, but it's certainly going to be top 4. Nice shot. China lies 3. No hesitation from this Korean team. It's the run back. red onto yellow, hoping to make a double takeout.
And if it's straight back, they'll lie short guarded.
아니 살짝 바깥쪽.
There we see Kim Min-ji with an edge over Jang Yi-lun, 66%, but nice rock there.
Yeah, just like to have seen it further up.
Another couple of feet would have been great.
Because the line was super. Needs to hit it straight back and lie short guarded.
Oh,
that
nice
lifts it double.
stone, nice stone, Kim Min-ji. Another good line read from Kim Hye-rin. That curls another quarter of an inch. It's disaster, but they held the line just enough to get the double takeout.
Yeah, really good shot.
This curls another quarter of a rock. Big problems, but great shot. Killing 2 Chinese stones, and that lowers the temperature for the Korean fans here in Gangneung.
Yep, so now China has a chance to come round again and leave that raise again.
Center guard still available here for Jang Yi-lun if she can sink one around it.
She'd rather be top tee.
Oh, nice shot. 2 nice draws.
Yeah, 2 great shots. Is the double there though? It is.
Well, she's lining it up. And I like the thinking process here. You make the double, you get your pair, and you're pretty much home and hosed.
Yep.
If you don't make the double and you get one, you drop a steal of 1, you're 2 up with playing 9.
한번 더 봐봐 너가.
If you try to cut China down to 1 by following that draw in, you come up a little bit short with the draw, you drop a steal of 2, big problems. So I like this call.
No, this is definitely the right call to make here. The double is on. But as you say, as long as you remove 1, you're still controlling the scoreboard.
Big weight. Needs to hit about half to make the pair. It's got 1 just behind. Steal of 1 for China. China hanging in. They've stolen 1 of the 4 ends that they're going to have to steal consecutively to win this game. Had to hit that one a little thicker to make the pair. Goes in behind the Chinese stone. It's a steal of 1. This game's not over yet. Women's semifinal after 8 ends. It's Korea 6 and China 4. Welcome back to the women's semifinal here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championship. It's getting a little bit more exciting. China fighting their way back, trailing at 6-1 at one point, but scoring a pair with last rock and then now stealing in the 8th end. They're only trailing by 2. 2 ends to play. Korea with last rock here in 9.
But even now, if China force Korea to take their 1 here, going into the last end 3 down with the hammer is not out of their reach.
It's true. 5 rock free guard zone.
Yep.
You can score 3s if you get those guards up and you get half a miss here and there. 3s are possible.
So Korea just going for the tick shot. Can't remove the yellow from play, but tried to tick it and split it into the rings. Just went past. So now the opportunity to put up a longer guard, leave separation between the two yellows. They want this just over the hog line.
Important for this Korean team, Rona, I think, that they keep their composure. You've had a lead, you're feeling pretty good. You're seeing that lead erode and you're trying to stem the bleeding, but you don't really have to do anything radically different. You just have to keep executing, right?
Definitely. Yeah, they were 6-1 up, they're now 6-4 up, so the gap is closing, but they're still in control. They've got to look at the scoreboard. It's the 9th end. They're 2 up with the hammer. Great position to be in.
Totally. I would have asked them before the game, would you be 2 up in that situation? Would the hammer be pretty happy about that?
Yeah, they would take it all day long.
Absolutely.
So this stone's pretty important where it finishes.
Not trying the tick, looking to come in the rings.
They don't want to put it just back to E because China would freeze it, so they're trying to take it back as far out the way as they can.
So it's in the back 8 foot. Dong Suchi.
So the one chance for China to bring this in and put it right on the button and just guard for the rest of the end. That's what they want to do.
So here's a big shot trying to get it into that scoring area that they can start building some defense around it, but it's going to sit in the top 12-foot second shot. Kim Min-ji racing out. Chinese, or Korean coach rather. Lee Sun-jun not looking quite as content as he did at the 5th end break. Remember, Korea have already used their timeout. Oh my, that's a
Yang Tai has
disaster.
just nicked it. There was an awful lot of rushing going on there. You know, the skip ran out to put the brush down. The second player flew out the hack.
Chinese bench looking composed and thinking, well, we're kind of in this game now.
And Korea don't need to rush. They've got 6.5 minutes to play an end, nearly 2 ends, so that's plenty time.
And not really great recognition of the B possibility on that last shot either. Could have swept it by the top one, got the back one, still got something out of the shot, but just by ticking that top one, leaving 2 center guards, China's really got something to work with here.
So coming round on the out turn, the line's looking good. Want to get that right into the button.
Nice looking shot here from Dong Chi.
Oh, just left it a wee bit short. It could have been further back, but it's a really good position there.
I'd take it. That's a
I'm just
pretty
being
nice shot.
pernickety.
There's a smile finally from Jang Yilun. They can feel the momentum changing. Dong Chi following her shot down, saying, you got it, drag it. Go, go, go. And they get it, full 4 foot, nice shot.
So Yang Tai will want to make up for her last error.
More contact on the top stone this time, peels it away. But China, you can just look at the body language now. There's just more spring in their step. There's more confidence. Still an uphill battle for Team China, but they're doing everything they can to get themselves back in it.
And so ideally just replace that long guard.
Guard the guard.
Guard to guard.
That in-turn path to the shot rock blocked as well.
And sweepers are saying it's Heavy. Ideally, they wanted this just over the hog line.
叉叉和平2减速了，姐姐2。
Slowing down now.
Don't want to leave a double on the guards, though.
Just gonna sit in front of the other stone.
Ah, just a wee bit far. Has left a double for Korea.
두껍게 봐야 돼. 반.
Briefly looked at the triple clear to push it back on the stone on the button, but the angles aren't so good, so I think they're just going to try to hit it high side and clear 2 guards and open up that center line. Kim Hee-rin. No problem. Caught that one a little lighter than they wanted to. Will they get it through? Just. That works. Nice shot. China will look to replace that guard. Liu Sijia.
So she's just played down this line, this weight. That's a really nice guard.
I wonder if they've left a gap on the intern side. Probably not. If they come through the hole on the intern side, it's going to jam on the back. Kim Hee-rin. There's something not quite right. Technical timeout. I think the automatic hog line detector mechanism in the stone may not be working, so the players are just going to ask the officials to stop the clock. Have that checked out.
불이 안 들어.
돌을 아까 옆에 골라놓은 거 2개 바꿀 수 있긴 한데.
If the lights aren't working, they can just put an umpire on the hog line to watch this stone.
And you can see the official to the left of our screen. She's going to come out and judge the hog line manually.
Yep, that's her saying, my eyes are going to watch. Make sure you release it before the hog line.
Please let it go.
You could see that stone spinning into out there at her release.
Yes, inside
Sliding
out.
inside.
Threw it back to the brush a little bit.
Yep.
Clears 1. 2 stones to come for each team. Let's have a look at this release. Rona, analyze it for us.
Yep, so sliding just slightly tight of line, so throws the stone back out towards the brush, so it's coming into out.
Catching the top stone a little thinner. Didn't make the double clear, but did remove 1. Jiang Yi-lun.
Yep, so she knows the line and weight here. Lucy Jia just played exactly the same shot. This is a lot lighter though. Is it going to overcurl?
It's a long guard.
Wow, that's a very long guard. Korea could come round, tap back and lie too.
Yeah, I was wondering exactly that. Is this the point where you switch gears because that guard is so long? You could probably get right to the nose of it on the out turn. They're also looking at the double takeout, which would be a great shot if you make it, but if you catch it thin and jam, or if you overcurl and jam on the back, could be trouble.
Just going for the sensible shot, play the scoreboard. But if she could come round and tap back and lie 2 and score a 2 at this end, then
yeah,
That would really kill the game.
A deuce would put the game away. It's a sensible call, but I'm not sure I love the call. Clears the center.
Because it wasn't a good guard from China, because it was too long,
Right,
Korea then didn't take advantage of that error.
right.
They've now, yes, played the sensible shot, but it now gives China the chance to put a better shot.
You can see where the brush is, and this is what I was worried about, Rona. Throw another one in there, half around that short stone, make them look at 2.
Yeah, definitely. Great opportunity now for China to put the pressure on.
我感觉再站一个好一点。
Just a little too defensive for my liking from Korea.
上一个，加油！
It's different if the guard had been closer up where they meant
Exactly.
to put it, then fair
Exactly.
enough, clear that off.
Exactly.
But because it was so long and there's such a good swing on this ice,
Yes.
嗯，
it was a great opportunity to come round and lie to.
走吧。
At some point, you need to make your move to win the game. Zhang Yilun.
2，还行，2缺，出现问题，2缺，下线吗？下线，下来了已经。
It's definitely more weight than our last one.
下线来点呢。2区是吗？2，1，看一下2，1。
She's looking just to guard, doesn't want it in then.
再来
Whoa. Pretty nice shot. Definitely a much better guard than the first one. Yeah, well, as we look at Zhang Yilun, Team Korea are going to try the double takeout.
So err on the right side here.
Exactly right.
Do not punch us back to your red.
If she makes the double takeout, she likely also rolls onto the rings and maybe gets 2. Here we go.
Must be close.
There's 1, there's 2, it spills. Single point for Korea, but what a huge point for Korea at this point in the game. Double takeout. Kim Min-ji, clutch. Great shot for Korea at a critical time. Let's have another look. Spills it off the rings. Stone in the back 8 counts. Korea with a huge point there, giving them 3 up, 7-4 after 9. Massive sweep from Team Korea. Dragging that stone into the rings, first stone of this 10th end. Jang Shin-di looking to set the first of what will almost certainly be 2 Chinese guards here in this 10th end. 5 rock-free guard zone. China has to score 3 to force an extra end. Nice shot. So Rona, the 5-rock rule, fairly new on the scene at World Curling Federation events. It's been played in Grand Slam events. This game situation defensively, 3 up. In the 4-rock free guard zone rule times, you might think about throwing your first rock through in this situation. Korea electing to throw stones into the rings. What's the defensive strategy here when you're 3 up in the 5-rock free guard zone era?
Yeah, I think it's one of these situations, if you're 1 or 2 up, is different to being 3 up.
Right.
She could have thrown her first one through here. She doesn't need stones in play.
It's kind of
Stones are an enemy to Korea.
That's why I asked the question. I was curious about that call on the first stone to throw into the rings rather than throwing through.
Say if you're 1 or 2 up, I can see why you would put the stones in, but 3 up.
Because you know for sure in the 5-rock free guard zone, you're going to see 2 corner guards.
Yes.
That's almost a given. Question is, do you want rocks in the rings so when you start clearing, you leave things in the rings that you could potentially jam against if you're clearing guards? Korea saying, we're just going to stack them up. At some point, you're going to have to get 3 closer than us to force an extra. Just pushes them apart. Well, the path to the 4-foot is pretty much taken away now. Let's freeze into the pocket, says Lu Sijia.
Yeah, that split by Korea has just given a pocket for China to come in. They were obviously wanting all their stones in a straight line.
As you were saying, Rona, any rock can play a good rock as far as China's concerned right now. They'll use whatever they can to try and manufacture their 3.
Because Korea will just ignore this stone and just immediately start peeling guards. Or they could guard it all up and say, you know what?
Come get us.
I'm going to steal.
That's right. Come get us. You still need to get 3 inside us. It will be the corner guard clear. Big defense. Bit of a wall there at the front of the 8-foot. Yang Tae being asked to clear one of these corners. Big shots for the second players in these closeout situations. That one is perfect. Nice shot.
Yeah, well played. And they will just try and clear the guards. And at some stage in this end, Korea might say, do you know what? I'm going to put up a guard.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're not going to get 3 in here.
Exactly. Korea knows the situation. They can give up 2 and still win the game.
But there are 3 stones in a pocket. China can bring another one in here. It's going to be very difficult for Korea to remove them.
Absolutely.
And they have still got a corner in play.
Yes, they do. This is why we love our sport. These situations, the strategy, the tactics.
Yep, expect the unexpected.
Nice.
Ah, great shot.
Terrific spot.
And that's where this new 5-rock rule makes it so much more exciting coming into the last end of the game. It'll be interesting after it's been played for the full year or the full season, just to see the stats on it, to see how many teams were down by how many and how many actually won the game in the 10th end.
I don't mean to be wise after the fact, but now you start to see those stones that Korea elected to throw in the front rings all of a sudden now hurting them.
They didn't need them.
No, they didn't.
So can they remove one yellow at least here and take the backing away?
Well, they unlock them at least. That removes some of the backing. China still with a heartbeat.
Why don't you draw behind your corner guard?
And this would be a great time to go around the corner. I agree, Rona.
That's what you've put it up for.
Timeout being called by China. They'll talk this one over. I'm with you, Rona. You threw up a corner with the expectation of using it. Here's your chance.
对他这个太近了，他这个球肯定没有，他不能打。站这个也行。你站那个。
That was a great result there from Korea because they've stayed in front of that yellow.
Yeah, that front stone very raisable. So China, mentally they'll be thinking, we're probably going to lose that one almost for sure. Where do we put our other ones?
Is there any way you can get to that red one? That red one too? Like this? Yeah. Well, I'm just looking. You're going to have to move that sooner or later too, right? So how are we going to get that one out too? Hoping that maybe if you corner freeze on that number 3, the red, then if she hits, it might go sideways. Hit the 4 onto the 2. We could get it that way. Because we need to get those out, moving those around on yours, right? So it's trying to put rock placement. I like the freeze that you guys called.
This one?
Yeah, yeah, cornering it. Okay. Yeah, and then what are you gonna do after that, Ellen? What are you guys gonna do? You're gonna have to tap, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe tap the center of that.
Yeah, that's not bad too.
Okay.
Because you got to move them around. You've got to move them around, right?
Do you have to move them around, Rona? I'm not so sure you do.
No, not at this stage.
Coach McCrory advocating for a corner freeze.
But by doing that, you're putting all your 3 stones in the one part of the head. So the likelihood that you're going to leave a double is pretty high.
If you corner freeze that red on the left-hand side, Korea almost certainly slams that stone on the center line, eliminating one Chinese rock anyways, and then leaving themselves sitting in front of their other one. So yeah, it's hard to see how China's going to have enough stones left to maneuver them all around to get themselves lying 3, which they need to force the extra in.
They're all top of the 12-foot. If they'd drawn round the corner guard into the 8-foot, they would lie 2.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Then they would have to peel the corner off.
Exactly right.
So they can't get a second one round there.
Correct.
So I don't like this call.
So they made what they called, but
no, that's why you put up the corner guards.
to use it.
At the 10th end, you've got last stone, you want corner guards. They were lying short. Bring another one into the 8-foot, lie 2. Put the pressure onto Korea.
Kim Hee-run, as predicted, throwing at this center stone. Not curling as much as they wanted, though. Oh, there's a bonus.
And that's what I said, by putting all your 3 stones in a very close area in the head, the likelihood is you're going to leave a double.
And as you can see from Kim Hee-run's expression, that's exactly what she did. Squeezes 2 Chinese stones out. Was looking to hit it on the nose, hit it a little bit on the high side, but got that action. And because those stones were clustered so tightly together, out go 2 of them. And now for China, how do you score 3?
Get round your corner guard. Because Korea's got the raise on the red to remove the yellow. You come round the corner guard now. Are they going to leave the corner? Because you could come round it again.
Coming around again, exactly.
That's why they've put it up. They've not even looked at coming round the corner.
No, they haven't.
I'm surprised, you know, both of these players, third and skip, Zhang Yilun and Lu Xijia, have both skipped at world ladies level. They've got the experience.
外侧不太好投，要不然就往这边选一个，要不然就中间选一个，都可以。还是往中间选吧。行 ，OK。
Well, they are looking to come into the center. You're right. You can see that space in the 8-foot around that corner guard.
But look at the shot that she's asking her to play through a
is-
tiny port.
This is a really tough shot.
And then you could leave a raise on the red to lift a double in the yellows again.
Yes, which would end the game effectively. Not completely, but effectively.
Yeah.
This stone is tracking. It's got a lot of curling to do. It's going to tap the Korean stone forward. They do leave the Chinese stone in the top of the 12-foot. And it's one of these situations, Rona, where game experience, it's a harsh teacher sometimes. That
Oh, absolutely. But I think you can see there that the Chinese team were so focused on that centre pile,
right.
instead of just stepping back and saying, okay.
Let's look at everything.
Yeah. And as I say, the Chinese team have got more experience, the top end anyway, have got a lot more experience at world women's level.
Yes.
Whereas it's the Korean team that are the young juniors who
Yes.
you would expect maybe to make that call.
Right. Yeah, I think if Korea made any tactical error in this end, it was actually by throwing stones in the rings early, but they're making good choices now. Big weight, just looking to rattle stones. And there it goes. Remember, China must score 3 to force an extra end. 2 won't get it done. They need 3. So no matter, even if they make a perfect corner freeze on the stone on the 4-foot, Kim Min-ji can throw a peel at that stone at the top of the 12-foot and end the game. Trying to keep the game alive for China. Zhang Yilun.
It needs to be here.
It's going to stay high. It's going to be in the rings, but it's going to stay high.
Oh, and just leave an easy double for Korea, though.
Remember, only one of them has to get out of the rings, so any contact on that top stone should do it for Korea. Sejia acknowledges the effort of her teammate, but the potential semi-final winning shot being lined up by Korea's Kim Min-ji for a place in the gold medal game and also to qualify Korea to the World Women's Curling Championship. That'll do it. Korea runs China out of rocks and claim their place in the gold medal game. Kim Min-ji, Kim Hye-rin, Yang Tae, and Kim Soo-jin advance to the gold medal game, and Korea qualifies for the World Women's Curling Championship. China fighting back bravely, ultimately couldn't get it done. Korea move on to the gold medal game. Fantastic women's semifinal. Korea advanced to the gold medal game on Saturday. You can see the delight on the expressions of Team Korea. They're going to the gold medal game. Terrific effort. Full value for the win. Played very well indeed. There's the confirmation of our final score. Korea 7 and China 4. Seventh end to play. China fighting to stay alive in this game. Trailing 6-1. Final stone for China's Jiang Yilun. Open hit to score 2. No problem. She nails it. China really needs that pair at that point in the game. Eighth end. Chance for Kim Min-ji of Korea to make a double takeout. Catches it thin, and China steals a single point. That brought them closer. In the ninth end, China lying 1. Kim Min-ji trying a double takeout. And she makes a beauty, killing both Chinese stones and scoring a crucial point in the ninth. In the 10th end, Korea runs China out of rocks to claim the victory. They're going to the gold medal game. Korea 7 and China 4. And there we see how the round robin phase went. Japan, China, Korea, Hong Kong, your qualifiers in the women's competition for playoff round play. Kazakhstan, Australia, and Qatar, the other participants. Who will Korea face in the gold medal game? Here's how it's going to stack up. The other semifinal is coming for you tomorrow. Japan will be playing Hong Kong. The winner of that game will advance to the gold medal game to face Korea. The loser of that semifinal match will play in the bronze medal game against China. Korea claiming their place, directly qualified to the World Women's Curling Championships, which will be held next March in Silkeborg, Denmark. Who will join them from the Pacific Asia zone in both the gold medal game and direct qualification to the World Women's Championships?
Well, many congratulations. What a great performance. What gave you the edge over the Chinese team tonight?
오늘 그 이긴 거에 대해 굉장히 축하를 드리고 오늘 게임에 있어서 관련된 이야기 한번 해주셨으면 좋겠다.
준결승에 이겨야 결승에 가는 부분이라서 좀 더 부담은 됐는데 정말 다 시합하기 전에 얘기도 많이 하고 더 집중해서 하겠다고 얘기해서.
Well, many congratulations. What a great performance.
좀 좋았던 것 같아요.
What gave you the edge over the Chinese team tonight?
They tried to 오늘 before 그 이긴 거에 대해 굉장히 축하를 드리고 오늘 게임에 있어서 관련된 이야기 한번. There's the reason they tried.
준결승에 이겨야 결승에 가는 부분이라서 좀 더 부담은 됐는데 정말 다 시합하기 전에 얘기도 많이 하고 더 집중해서 하겠다고 얘기해서.
Well, many congratulations.
They got
What
lots
a
of
great
pressure, but they
performance.
tried to be relaxed.
What gave you the edge over the Chinese team tonight?
They tried to 오늘 before
And you've qualified yourself for a spot in the World Women's Curling Championship. How do you feel about that?
At the World Women's Curling Championship, Korea have qualified their place. Korean skip Kim Min-ji delighted to be playing in the gold medal match. And really looking forward to not only seeing Korea in that gold medal game, but also to qualify for that World Women's Championship. Hope you've enjoyed the action, a thrilling game for you here tonight from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. For Rona Howie, I'm Hans Frauenlob. Tune in again tomorrow for more playoff action from the Pacific Asia Curling Championships.